Hello and welcome to your Rune Reading. I'm Daniel Erulian, your local Tantrik Heathen and Rune Yogi. So this is completely off the cuff. There's no pre-planned sets of runes. I'm just going to shuffle them, place 3 sets of 3, and you're going to pick either 1, 2, or 3. So just take a couple of breaths in through the nose, out through the nose, expand the belly as you breathe in, soften the shoulders as you breathe out, and just think, what number comes to you naturally? Number 1, number 2, or number 3? So you have 5 seconds to pick either 1, 2, or 3. Don't overthink it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have chosen your number. So I'm going to start with number 1. So Rune Set 1. So there are timestamps at the bottom of this video if you would like to fast forward to your runes. So we have Ehwaz, Laguz, and Kanars. So Ehwaz at the root of the reading says that it is something to do with partnership. So yes, it could be a romantic partnership, it could be a business partnership, it could be a friendship, it could be a creative endeavor with someone, or it could be a partnership with an aspect of yourself. Yeah, you know, we often think that we're the driver, but a lot of the time we only get glimpses of being that aware rider or driver, and we have this autonomous part of ourselves that kind of takes the reins when we're not paying attention. So with Laguz is inviting us to go into the depths, go into the unknown, go into the unfamiliar. So Laguz is like this big journey across the water, right? And so, you know, think to the ancient peoples, water represented this complete unknown. Like, how deep did it go beneath it? What was on the other side? How far? Was there ever anything on the other side? And so it's kind of like this invitation to venture into the unknown and realizing that there's going to be waves along the path and making sure that, are you prepared for this journey? And Kanars is this spark or this fire, but it's asking to be directed into something purposeful and intentional rather than just thrown around. So Kanars is really this directed laser focused fire in order to create something. And it isn't a very erotic rune as well. And so what I probably would be leaning towards based on these is whatever partnership you're leaning into, making sure that you're aware what the creative spark is for that partnership, and to let yourself soften and surrender into the unknown a little bit, but keeping that torch. Yeah. So these are a good partnership of runes because you're going into the unknown, to the unknown depths, but you've got a torch with you, but just making sure that you're actually like keeping that torch lit and directing that where you want to be going, because that's going to illuminate the dark and allow you to keep that feeling, keep that focus within that travel. So hopefully that helped. So Rune Set number 2. Interesting. Cool. So we have the first and last rune, so Fehu and Othila, and then we have Dargaz as the third rune. So Fehu is kind of leaning towards, there's this idea of power, perhaps money. So obviously Fehu represents money at its most basic form, but it's really what is the fuel or what is the currency that you need in order to get the job done. So with Othila, it's actually asking you to direct that into some sort of property, into some sort of thing that is going to hold that long term and ask you to build, right? So it could literally be, you know, some sort of investment into a property or into a space. Like, it doesn't mean you're investing money into a physical property. It could be you're investing your time and your worth and your drive and, you know, your energy into an actual space. So it could be like you're trying to build something at the moment. Like, it could be trying to build like a group, trying to build some sort of creative endeavor, but it's really focusing on circulating the energy within that space equally. Yeah. And Dargaz asks us to kind of get a broader view of the equation, to really see what is happening on the broader scope of things, not to get pulled too far over this direction or too far over this direction. It's asking you to be that third observer, to kind of see the parallel, see what's happening within all that. And maybe that's the reason you're creating this space at the moment anyway, because you are the one who needs to be able to see that alternative perspective. Maybe there's different parties involved in the creation of this thing, and it's your role to kind of take all that on board, but to feel into it and to make decisions from like the paradoxical body. And what I mean by that is, intellectually, we can't hold differing opinions. Like, this contradicts with that. This is black and white, but it's asking us to kind of drop into our body and feel what the actual truth with inverted commas, what the actual theme is behind all of that, and to get a broader picture of the long-term circulation of energy within that space. I know it's a lot of vague terms, but essentially you're investing energy in towards a space or an endeavor. Make sure that you're exploring all aspects of that endeavor and not just like getting tunnel vision. So it's like the opposite of this first reading. You want to get the broad picture of it. And like, if you walk into a space, right? Imagine you're walking into a physical space, walk around the whole space, get the whole 360 view of it, and try to see the bigger picture of what's going on, because that's going to help you to realize what your role is in that, and to help you to kind of bridge all the pieces of that together. Hopefully that made sense. So that was the second rune reading for you. Number 3. Cool. So we have Wunyo as the first rune. We have Yera, and we have Thurisaz. So Wunyo is linked to joy, yeah? But it's very specifically a type of joy that you get when you're in a fellowship or a group, or you feel like you're a part of something. So Yera is really linked to nature and natural cycles. And then Thurisaz is a natural force, but it's a natural primal destructive force or protective force. So this is a really interesting reading. So Wunyo, I think, is asking you, or asking us, or asking the situation to really have a bit of playfulness and a sense of joy about it, and find what is actually going to be bringing you those senses of joy and those senses of fellowship, and the deeper part of why you're in this situation in the first place, yeah? Whatever situation you wanted the reading about, why was it that first sparked your desire to be in this situation? Yeah. So timing is an interesting thing with Yera, because you could have come in at a good time, could have come in at a bad time, but understanding what is the actual bigger cycle that is happening within this situation, and where do you need to make sure that you're either setting clear boundaries, protecting yourself in certain areas, or actually taking direct action, and that could be a destructive action. You know, you might say, oh, destruction bad, like, why are you telling me to be destructive in something? It's what needs to actually be destroyed to make room for something new, because nature destroys. We're talking about nature here with Yera. Nature destroys. Fire, they just did a burn off here in the my home backs onto a national park here in Australia, and during winter they do a burn off to do a more controlled burn off. And if you've ever seen a forest fire, it completely chars the trees, but they return more green than ever. It's crazy to actually see. You would see a charred black tree and think there's no way it's ever coming back from that. So what maybe in this cycle of life, death, rebirth, in this endeavor that you're embarking upon, that maybe brought you joy initially, but has hit a different part of the cycle. And so when if you want to continue this and keep pursuing this joy, then something needs to shift and change for its next iteration, for its next remanifestation of that joy, of that pursuit. Yeah. So when it is connected to something that lights you up, some sort of like endeavor, some sort of kind of deep held belief or value that you have, or hobby, or something that connects you either with a higher purpose or with like a particular group or clan, or something that you do together with people. It kind of also like usually crosses over, because you see these big endeavors and big values and things like that, and cultures built around these ideas. This is Wunyo is like holding up this flag, but maybe it's in the next point of its cycle and it's confusing you because it's no longer what it was, and it's no longer what it was. It has to transform. Any creative endeavor has to transform, and so you have to decide what actually needs to be broken down, destroyed, what forces are in play that can be directed somewhere, and then making room for its next iteration or its next manifestation. So that's it for today. So thank you for watching. If this has helped you out, please comment, and I'd love to know if this reading landed for you. Please subscribe if you're enjoying the content. It really helps me to know that people are watching and people are enjoying this, and prompts me to make more. So I will speak to you very soon, and Ryan till Runa.